Hello and a warm welcome from the capital markets team at Hellerbar in Frankfurt. Welcome to our regular market backdrop and market outlook for covered bonds and other related asset classes. My name is Thomas Kors. I'm responsible for the financial institutions business in the capital markets group at Hellerbar. And I have with me again Matthias Melms, who has taken charge hi, Matthias, of our DCM and syndicate business. So the current year is going to end. I think looking back, it wasn't quite such a bad year as was expected in January. We had interesting developments in the meantime. We are focusing on covereds, but not only. So we'll talk about all the asset classes that we're dealing with. And Matthias, why don't you start with covereds? How was 21 in your view?
Yeah. We have seen issuance volume from roughly 100 billion euros, and this is not as much as we have seen in previous years before the corona crisis overall, but overall a little bit more than in 2020. So I would say we have made the best out of it.
Especially in September, it seems. What happened here?
Oh yeah. You can see that we have had an awful start into 21 with low issuance volume, even lower than the year before. But markets came back after the summer break with the best months overall this year in September, with issuance volume roughly around 30 billion euros.
So a nice wake up after the summer break?
Absolute. It was a wake-up call from inflation, and therefore market participants were anticipating different central bank policy for the end of the year and then the year ahead. So capital market activities was again back.
Oh, wow. Well, thank God in our home state of Hesse, the summer break ended pretty early. So most of our people were on time at their desks and could take advantage of that. But what's the outlook for 22 then?
So, as you can see, we predict with roughly 120 billion, a little bit more than this year, a little bit, much more, I would say 20 billion more than 21. But to bring in the right perspective, we're talking just of the normalization of the market, even if we will have negative net supply again in 22.
Okay, so that looks like a fairly positive outlook, especially if I consider there's probably foreign currency apart from the euro, because this is only euros, right?
This is only euros. What we have brought with us.
So foreign currency is another 20% on top of that?
Foreign currency, predominantly US dollar, but also the Scandi currency counts for another 20% roughly.
Okie doke. So what about the next asset class?
So senior pref, when you look at the total numbers with 66 billion, I would say a completely normal year together with the years before. We were completely in line in 21.
I like 66, such a nice number. I was born there, there's Route 66. Hey, how's it going in 2022? Yeah. I don't like 60.
We're coming down a little bit, 60 billion, 10% less than this year. But as I said before, it is a completely normal year 21, and it will be a completely normal year in 22 for senior pref.
So same?
Same for pref, but different for non-pref.
Okay, so not so preferred the non-prefs. So what's the story here? Again, a September peak?
A September peak, but overall with 100 billion in issuance volume, we have seen extraordinary good year in 21 with higher issuance volume than the years before. We have seen also here September peak in issuance volume, but look what happened in the first half of the year, where we've had several good months in a row and for a specific reason.
And that is? Not the summer break this time.
Euro-dollar basis swap. It was much more attractive for especially US banks to issue in euro at the beginning of the year in the second quarter, as it was attractive concerning the euro-dollar basis swap.
Okay, and the outlook for next year? Oh wow, that's a fall.
Outlook, we are down to 70 billion. That is our prediction for next year's. But to bring it in the right context, 70 billion means nothing else than normalization in issuance activity for senior non-pref.
So at least in terms of the outlook, in terms of volume, non-prefs are going to be true to their name. Great. What else do we have? There's another asset class we like. Yes.
SSA. We have seen issuance volume with 383 billion. That was completely much more than the pre-corona levels we have observed. Similar good year as in 2020, but again, there was especially one issue responsible for this high issuance volume.
The one in Brussels.
Exactly. With 33%, the EU took away the largest chunk of the issuance activity in this year.
And is that going to be the same in 2022?
Overall, our prediction for the market is 350 billion. To bring it into context, that is much more than pre-corona level, but less than 20 and 21. And we predict that the EU will still stay and will be the largest issuer in the SSA Euro universe.
Well, I guess 350 billion are going to keep the syndicate desks rather busy. So, thank you very much for summarizing what we've seen in 21 and giving us a little taste about 22. Anything else you'd like to draw our attention to?
Yeah, absolutely. Besides the outlook for the issuance volume, we have some huge unknowns in the market. So, first overall, central bank activities. Yeah, you can argue what is the unknown. We have seen central bank activities in 20 and 21 as response to the corona crisis. But hey, bring it to the point. We all expect a normalization of the central bank activities, and the huge unknown is that they will again have to act.
And there's a slight difference, it seems, in attitudes between US and the European central banks,
Absolutely.
Right?
So, and looking right in the corner, I see Omicron variant just before us, and we have learned the whole Greek alphabet last year and the year before, and hopefully we are not coming to an end in 22. So what I want to say was that no one can predict what will happen with the corona crisis, and do we get further variants, and what will be the response from politics and the central banks to it.
Yeah, and obviously these are, for those who take notes of our slides here, not bond variants, virus variants, and another virus variant.
Oh, we see greetings from the 70s. So inflation's picked up, inflation activity picked up this year, and we've seen a huge range between the prediction for next year from normalization up to speed on. So overall, that will be influencing, of course, central bank activities, and so with second round effect also issuance activities. And last but not least, politics. We have named it here regional conflicts. So it could happen that next year we get from the left or the right corner some white elephant to the market, but will have an impact on issuance activity.
Well, thank you very much for that lovely summary of exciting prospects to watch out for. But of course, no list would be complete without mentioning one further thing, and that's the sustainability issue. We're all aware of the climate changes. We're all aware of the call by regulators and by the general public to the financial industry to also do something about that. One of the things that's in progress right now is a directive by the European Union to look at the taxonomy of green instruments, and especially conformity to those taxonomy issues. That may require a lot of hitherto successful issuers of green instruments to slightly, or some even more slightly, adjust their green frameworks. So a lot of work to come. Looking at this little piece of research that Sabrina Mies, our senior analyst, has written on those effects, I recommend you to look into that. You can find it on our website. And apart from that, I didn't just put on a tie because it's the festive season. I also was reminiscing about the fact that we had a lot of seltzer water over the last years in covered bonds and other financial instruments. I really look forward to getting to these bottles again. So that's a very good clue for the New Year's Eve. And therefore, we say goodbye to you. Thank you very much for clicking into this webcast, and keep following us. We like to keep you abreast with new developments in the market. Have a happy new year. Have a relaxing festive season. Please stay healthy. This is Matthias Melms. I'm Thomas Kors. We're from Hellerbar. All the best to you.